Today we're going to be going through the January 2022 paper 2. That was the recently concluded paper 2, that exam that took place last week. We're going to go through that paper. All right, so just reading through the rules here of the January paper. The paper has 2 sections. Section 1 has 7 questions. Section 2 have 3 questions. Answer all questions. So we don't even need to bother to read anything, but we just need to answer all the questions. All right, so let's go ahead and start the paper.
Hey!
All right, question 1. Question 1 says, using a calculator or otherwise, find the exact value of 8.9 plus 31.6 over 0.75 times 5.4. I'm just going to put that in the calculator. At this point, just take out your calculator, 8.9 plus 31.6 over 0.75 multiplied by 5.4. Just put that in a calculator, and we're not stressing that too much. The exact value of that, it's working out to be 10. All right, that's the answer right there. That's 10. All right. Yeah, that works out to be 10. I just had to ensure that it was a plus symbol. All right, so that is 10. All right, so no problem with part 1. That's just 1 mark. Part 2 says, what is the value of 3.9 tan 18 correct to 1 decimal place? So we're going to take out our calculator, 3.9 tan 18 degrees. I'll put that in our calculator. We're getting 1.267. All right, but it wants it to 1 decimal place. So we're going to round it off. Since 6 is greater than 5, it becomes 1.3. So this is equal to 1.3. That's to 1 decimal place. All right, so far we're having fun. All right, just to bring up the calculator again, 1.3 to 1 decimal place. All right. So finish the first part there. All right, let's look at part B now. Part B, it goes and it says, Ria is paid at a rate of $13.5 per hour. During a certain week, she worked 40 hours. How much did she earn that week? All right, so at the end of the day, Ria's wage, or you want to say salary, RS mean Ria's salary, that's equal to the amount of hours she work multiplied by the pay per hour. So it's going to be hour rate, which is 13.5, multiplied by how many hours did she work, which is 40. All right. And how much did she earn? We put that in our calculator. 13.5 multiplied by 40. That is giving us $540. So that's how much Ria made in her week. All right. She worked 40 hours, she make $540. That's Ria's salary for the week. Now the next question says, Ria worked 4 weeks in the month of August and her gross earnings was $2,463.75. Her regular week comprised of 40 hours and overtime was paid at 1.5 times the hourly rate. Show that Ria worked 15 hours overtime. So this was Ria's monthly earnings or gross earnings. So Ria's gross earnings, I'm just calling the gross earnings G. It's going to be equal to Ria's basic earning, her basic wage, plus Ria's overtime wage. So B mean basic and O mean overtime. Now, her basic wage would be how much hours she work How many hours did she work for? She worked 40 hours in a week, but at the end of the day, it said that this is when she's working 4 weeks in the month. All right, so her basic wage is going to be her hourly rate, 13.50, multiplied by how many weeks did she work for in the month? 4 weeks, multiplied by how much hours she worked for each week? 40 hours, plus her overtime wage. Her overtime wage now is going to be, we don't know how many hours she worked for, so let's call how many hours she worked for X, right? All right, I'm just going to zoom out a little bit. All right, plus in bracket her overtime wage. As we're saying, her overtime wage is, it's going to be, we don't know how many hours, we can call the hours X, multiplied by, we know that the rate that she's being paid though is her current rate, multiplied by 1.5. And we know that all of this is equal to 2,463.75. All right. So if we're to simplify this equation, it's going to become 2463.75. That's equal to, you put this part in a calculator, 13.5 multiplied by 4 multiplied by 40. That works out to be $2,160 plus, remember X right here, you can even tell them that X is the amount of overtime hours she work. We're trying to find X. X is overtime hours. Overtime hours. That's what we're trying to find. So 2160 plus 13.5 times 1.5. 13.5 multiplied by 1.5. Put that in our calculator and we get that it is, all right, it's not, I don't know what's happening there. Let me try again. So 1.5 multiplied by 13.5. This is working out to be 20.25. So plus 20.25x. Now we need to solve for x. So I'm just going to take us to the white screen for now. I'm sorry, but we're going to the white screen and I'm writing out the equation that we had. The equation that we had is 2463.75, 2463.75, and that's equal to 2,160 plus 20.25x. So in that case, we're going to transpose now. We're going to transpose and we're going to have now that 20.25x is equal to 2463.75 minus 2160. So we'll put this into our calculator. So you put that in your calculator. All right, I'm going to take out the calculator and do that. All right, so here it is in the calculator, 2463.75 minus 2160. Put it in the calculator and we get 303.75. So this works out to be 303.75. And that is 20.25x. Now we just need to divide both sides now by 20.25. Dividing both sides by 20.25, that will give us x is equal to, put that in a calculator now, 303.75 divided by 20.25. So let's just divide it now by 20.25. And look, we get our 15. Wow, just like that, we get our 15. Wow. All right, and so therefore, Rhea did work 15 hours overtime. All right, so we can write, therefore, x equal to 15. Let's show it on the screen. From that now, therefore, x is equal to 15. All right, so Rhea did work 15 hours overtime. And remember, we did tell them that, just to go back to the whiteboard, we did tell them that x was the overtime hours. So you don't have to worry about writing out a sentence to say, therefore, Rhea worked 15 hours overtime. You don't need to say that because we told them that x in this case was overtime hours. So that's the answer right there. All right, now the next part of the question goes to say, in August, 20% of Rhea's gross earning was deducted as tax. How much money does she have left after the deduction? If you take out 20% of our money, that means Rhea net salary, because when you take out gross, when you take out tax from gross, you get net salary. So Rhea's net salary is going to be equal to 80% of, it's going to be 80% of what was her gross salary. And her gross salary is $2,463.75. So it's 80% of 2,463.75. So we're going to take out our calculator and find 80% of that. So remember, 80% of that is 80 over 100 multiplied by 2,463.75. We work that out, and what we get is 1,971. So that's Rhea's net salary. $1,971. All right, that is Rhea's net salary. No problem. That is Rhea's net salary. Nice. Now, the next part of the question says Rhea invested $219 of her earnings for 3 years at a rate of 4.5% per annum with simple interest. How much interest does she receive after 3 years? After 3 years, we need to remember interest is equal to principal times rate times time over 100. That's the interest formula. So the principal is how much did she invest? 219 multiplied by the rate. The rate was 4.5 multiplied by how long did she interest for? 3 years. I said how long did she interest for? My mistake. How long did she invest for so far? 3 years. Over 100. All right. And so this will give us that her interest is working out to be, and you take out your calculator, put it in your calculator. 219 multiplied by 4.5 multiplied by 3, and make sure to divide it by 100. So that works out to be, remember that interest is money, and money is the 2 decimal place. So this is 29.57. 29.57. That's the interest that she make after 3 years. That's not bad. All right, and that takes care of question 1. So now we complete question 1. We're nice. We have all our answers for question number 1.